Hi, Don. Troy Hirsch with Fox 5. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today. There's first question being your initial reaction to when you found out that the season would be postponed.
Yeah, I think kind of a universal feeling is that we were all just kind of disappointed, just not know or knowing that we weren't going to be able to play football or any of our sports at all. Some of our fall sports like women's volleyball, soccer, anything like that, we just all kind of universally feel a little disappointed at the time. Just you know, uh, being disappointed we don't have a season.
There's been Trevor Lawrence started the We Want to Play, hashtag We Want to Play social media movement. There was the MW United amongst Southwest Conference schools teams. A lot of traction from a lot of other schools. I didn't see a lot of anything from Sdsu, and I'm wondering if maybe I just didn't see it, or maybe things were better at Sdsu in terms of how they were being transparent and relaying information to you. What's your experience been like through this whole process of feeling included, or just like you just wait and we'll tell you what's going to happen when it's going to happen?
No, I think we are for sure included in just being able to be having that open line of communication with Coach Hoke and our full staff. I do feel like our program is a lot more. They're a lot more communicative with us and being able to just be a lot more clear and concise with what we're doing and what's going on at the moment. And I feel comfortable with that. And we are just as a team just trying to be able to come together and make sure that we're all kind of on the same page and all using the same voice and making sure that we're all on the same page and making sure that we're just all working together and working towards the same goal.
A lot of people have said that we as Americans in the United States need college football, need the distraction, need the income, need the spark that college football provides every Saturday night. From the perspective of you as a player who would be in it, and essentially, obviously there's risk with football, but do you think this is the right decision now? Are you upset with the decision? You personally, where do you stand?
I personally stand where my coach and our staff stands, and I genuinely believe that if they think that this is the right move, then I am totally in agreement with them, and I feel that most of our team feels the same way. Is that whatever the higher ups at our school or anything is, just whatever their decision is, they're thinking about our safety and our health in minds, and we feel comfortable about every decision they've made so far.
Hi Dom, I was just curious, when the official announcement was made, did the coaching staff kind of reach out to you guys, and did they say anything about what was going on and what you guys should do next?
Well, we were actually meeting during that actual announcement, so we didn't have we kind of saw it off the social media just a little bit here first, but Coach Hoke jumped on the meeting and made sure that we all were on the same page exactly as soon as he could. So just with that simple fact, it just kind of made everything seem a little bit more easier, and just make sure that we kind of eased into we're all on the same page as soon as we could, and just kind of making sure that we are together.
And then right now they're saying that potentially they could postpone this season to the spring. How would you feel about playing in the spring and potentially having a quick turnaround, maybe of playing in the spring again, or in the fall after that?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a definite hurdle that we have to get over. But playing football is just the big goal, and that's kind of what we all came here to do is to get our degree and play football. So in whatever situation, whatever season, whatever time it needs to happen, if we get the chance to play football, we're going to play football as soon as we can.
Hey, John, a couple questions for you. First, kind of along those lines, I mean, what's it been like just watching the dominoes fall? I mean, this isn't just smaller leagues, it isn't FCS or D2, D3. I mean, it's you guys, and it's Pac-12, Big Ten. I would imagine for somebody in your shoes, it's got to be kind of stunning just to see things play out the way they.
Yeah, this is definitely unprecedented times, and seeing everything happen and unfold as it happens every day, just new things coming out. It's definitely interesting to see how everything is working and coming along, but I do feel like what factors need to be considered when it comes to like our health and our safety. Those things are being considered, and with whatever decisions are made, I feel like it's cool as long as we know that we're being safe and we're taking the right precautionary steps for everything.
And I don't know if you can speak for your teammates or just yourself, but just the comfort level, just in terms of being on campus and working out, practicing to whatever extent you are right now. Do you guys feel safe and comfortable and good about being on campus rather than being at home or kind of in your own separate places?
Definitely. I feel like our staff, our strength staff, our athletic training department, and just everyone in general here at the athletic complex and with football and everything, they're just extremely detailed and making sure that everything that they can control is controlled, and just knowing that and making sure that we're wearing our masks as much as we can. I definitely feel like we're taking the right steps, and as long as we continue doing these things, I do feel safe, and I feel like that can kind of be said for most of my teammates as well.
I want to ask you, and I'll get to the reason why in a second, a related question about CTE. There's so much talk in previous years about CTE. How did you make a decision whether to continue with football, knowing the risks with CTE?
Honestly, I feel like I love the game of football, and I do feel like the game is making the right steps to make sure that we are as safe as we can and as healthy as we can for as long as we can. And I feel like as long as we are continually trying to make sure that the players themselves and everyone in relation to them is as safe as possible, I feel like I'm comfortable just as I was in Pop Warner playing football as I am today.
So that said, here you have another situation that's a health issue with COVID, and you're not being allowed to make the decision whether to play. Someone's made the decision for you. Do you wish you were just given the facts and said, do you want to play or do you not want to play?
I feel like at least with our situation, Coach Hoke's been pretty clear with us and being very communicating very well with us as a football team, just to kind of know exactly what's going on and who's making the decisions, how they're making it, and why they're making it. And I do feel comfortable with those decisions being made, and I do feel that it's not so much of me wishing that I could make the decisions, is more so I hope that they're taking into consideration everything that needs to be, and I do feel like that is the case with here at San Diego State. And yeah.
And the last thing, going forward, whether it's the spring or next fall, what have you been told needs to happen for you guys to be able to play? What has to change in terms of health and safety? Because COVID probably isn't going away anytime soon. It might be diminished, but you'll still have a small chance of getting it. So that won't change, and the health risks associated obviously won't change. So what have you been told needs to happen for you guys to be on the field playing games?
As of right now, it's just doing everything that our training staff and the staff here at the Fowler Athletic Complex is just telling us to make sure that we're staying as safe as possible, staying with the people that we are kind of our little pods, being accountable to each other for on and off the field and inside the workouts, outside of the facilities, just making sure that we stay accountable to ourselves and our teammates, and just taking into consideration that with every day something new might come up, and we're going to have to adjust that day, and we might have to change game plans. But as long as our team and everyone here is on the same page, I do feel like we're going to be able to get to a season at some point in time.
Well, you've already been pulled off the field, but what are your thoughts if you're going to be sitting at home on the couch on a Saturday afternoon and some of these other conferences are still going? What thoughts will run through your mind in that instance?
I'm going to miss football for sure. That'll be for sure one of the things, but and like I said before, I feel like our staff and the higher ups here have made the decisions that need to be made, and to help make sure that we're all safe and we're all healthy. And if that's the best case scenario, then so be it. We got to just put our head down and keep working towards the next day and making sure that we will have a chance to play football.
Also, if you guys aren't able to play in the spring, but you get another year of eligibility, would you be interested in coming back for 2021?
I'd for sure be back. I love this program. I love this team, and I just want to play football, and I would definitely want to play a senior year of college, because I've had 3 years, but everyone says that senior year is something different. That last game that you play, it's something different, and I definitely want to experience that for myself.
Dom, what do you know as far as right now is what you can do this fall? Obviously, you're an athlete, you're on campus. Are you, and you maybe individual workouts, but are you going to be able to do strength conditioning and stuff like that this fall in preparation for a season that hopefully comes in the spring?
Well, we've been preparing for a season as if we did have a season this year, but I do believe that we're going to be able to continue doing our strength conditioning, and as long as we go about the same protocols that we have been doing, I do feel like we've been taking the right precautionary measures to continue to do our team workouts and things like that, and because we have adjusted it tremendously in making sure that everyone's safe and being clean and disinfecting everything that everyone's touching and making sure that everyone's good.
There was some concern when seasons were talking about being postponed. Some coaches across the country were saying it's safer here on campus than for some people to be back at home or with their family life, depending on what that might be. Do you have a feeling for your teammates as to whether or not there was a sense of relief or happiness that scholarships were going to be honored, housing, food, training tables, all that stuff was still going to be the same even though there was no season?
Yeah, that was for sure definitely a big relief for most of us, because we've got rent to pay and we've got things like that, and so everything that's not playing football is still going without anything changing to our knowledge. So we're all definitely relieved about that, and we are excited to see just what comes forward and just making sure that we take it day by day.
And then finally, obviously, I remember being your age and playing football and sort of being invincible, bulletproof, and injury-free and feeling like kind of on top of the world. What are your parents saying to you as far as their concern about you playing, or not as much concern about playing during COVID? What was that conversation like with you and your parents just individually, if you could share?
My parents they definitely they respect my decisions and making sure that I think that I'm going to make the responsible decision, and I think that they trust the program as well as everyone else here. And so when everyone decided that there wasn't going to be a season, or even that there was going to be a season, my parents were definitely on board with just making sure that, all right, if you feel comfortable what everyone else is telling and the staff, the higher-ups are doing, then so be it. Like, we're going to just take it day by day, and I've definitely made sure that I keep into consideration my family as well.
My connection cut out at the start of this, so you may have answered this, but where were you when you got the word, and what was it mean from you? Did find out that the season was canceled? Yeah,
well, we were actually currently in a meeting, just going about our daily fall camp kind of things, just kind of adjusted. But we were in a meeting, but right when that meeting concluded, Coach Hoke jumped on and let us know the news from his mouth himself, and it was definitely a disappointment. But we all understood what needed to happen and why that decision was made, and we just are hopeful that we're taking it every day in a step in the right direction to playing another season or playing football as soon as we can.
You think there was less shock because you already seen some of your class for this, so it wasn't maybe as shocking as it might have been otherwise?
I definitely think there were some of us that saw it coming, and it was just kind of on the back of our minds seeing that other conferences were thinking about canceling their season or postponing it, and I definitely think that it wasn't so much of a curveball, but it was definitely something that we had planned for a season and we were hoping for a season. So when we heard that wasn't going to happen, we're going to be disappointed no matter what.